This conference will now be recorded.
I'm going to move this recording panel on the other side. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and create a new document in Illustrator. So I'm just going to do the same size that I did last time, the standard letter size. And this one I'm going to call top flat. And create. Okay, so same thing as we did last time. I'm going to go ahead and pull out, put the rulers up, and then the view rulers, show rulers, and then I'm gonna pull out a guide to put in the middle of my page, like I always do at 4 inches, and that is how I'm gonna start the top. So the difference between the tank top we did last class and this is, first of all, this is going to have a sleeve attached to it. And secondly, this is going to be a stretch fabric, like this top with sleeves, stretch fabric. So it will have top stitching, neckline, and top stitching on the hem. Versus what we had last time, we had the armhole top stitching and then the neckline top stitching. So to start, we're gonna follow step 1, and then to start step 1, as always, we do the pen tool. And we make the neckline. As you can see in the picture, they've generally shown the neckline and the armhole already done because they've done that in the previous tank top. Till you add the sleeve part, and the initial steps for the bodies are the same. It's just a different color that they've used in this one. To make sure that you can do the neckline and push it backwards, and also that you can add the sleeve to it. So they've done a color-filled one, but the tank top, the bodice part without the sleeves is the same, so they are not giving you the steps for that. So you would have to do those steps to make the bodice the same way you did in the tank top, and then the steps here start for the sleeve. So I'm gonna do the neckline. Again, I'm going to be at the center front. I'm gonna click my first point, then I'm gonna go diagonally upwards. And then I'm going to go from my neckline point to my shoulder point. And my shoulder point, again, if you remember, we did the armhole in two separate parts. So the first part where we need to curve it, and then the second part for our armhole is the armhole. Then we go in for our waist. And out for the hip. And finish off at the center front. Okay, I realized once I've begun that I still got color in the stroke, to fill the stroke. And I'm not going to finish off the anchor point till I have done that, and I can it won't affect anything. It will just put color and give it stroke. So I'm gonna click on these two black and white things to do it, and then I'm going to go change the fill color to a nice yellowy color. Okay, and then now since I have that and I have the outline on, I'm going to go to the select tool and I'm going to click that to close off my circuit. Again, if you remember from last time, I did not go ahead and click and close off the neckline because if I did, then I wouldn't be able to curve it. So before we can add the sleeve, we have to go right click on the pen tool and get the anchor tool and then make our neckline. So we will click and pull the handles inwards towards the bottom. Keep them horizontal and make our neckline. And then I'm going to pull the needle on the middle of the armhole downwards. Make that one. And then I'm going to slightly pull the waist one at the hip to that. So now we've gotten to the point where we need to add the sleeve, and that's our step one in the handout. And I would right click and change back to the pen tool. So on the handout here, it says step one, body follow steps 1 to 2 of previous exercise. 2. Step 1, note the center front hem and anchor point is lower than the side seam anchor point and is slightly shaped. And that's where we are starting now. Select the pen tool. Place the first anchor point 1 on the shoulder line slightly in from the armhole. Then create anchor points 2 to 6, closing the path of the sleeve. The first anchor point, we can't place anchor point on top of anchor point because that starts shifting the anchor point that we've already got. So this anchor point that is coming up at this shoulder point, I can't use that. I have to move in from that one. And I don't want to move in too much. I'm going to first zoom into my piece. Not too much because I still have to make this, otherwise it will get yep, right there. So I'm gonna use the pen tool and then go ahead and start making the path for this. So just in that anchor point. That's one. To make you have to make a slight sweetness on there. So you go first, follow that one, and then make. Now you're gonna go down for 3 for the sleeve, and the sleeve is longer than the hem. So I'm gonna go below the hem. Right there. That's point 3. Then I'm gonna make the opening for the sleeve. So that's 4. I'm going to go slightly in and above the armhole. Right there. About just a bit away from the armhole, not on the same line. And then I'm gonna go back into the first. one. Okay, so I'm gonna have to redo that last one because it's sort of did not go where I thought it had gone. I'm gonna go a little bit more higher there, and then I'm gonna close it so it covers the armhole. And the sleeve is on top, right there. And I am going to change the color on this one because it's the same color and you won't be able to differentiate as much. So I'm gonna give it another color for the sleeve. Okay. So now what I need to do is we need to take our anchor tool and make this point, the point that's at the tip of the shoulder, now the new shoulder inside the armhole, we need to do a little curve on that one. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm not gonna pull it up, I'm gonna keep it straight, but I'm gonna pull it outwards to curve it. And do it again. Slightly curving it. Okay, so it looks curved now. So that's the point we're gonna curve. I know you're dying to ask, why aren't we curving this one? There's a reason we don't need to curve this one. So select the sleeve. So I'm gonna go ahead and select tool and I'm gonna select this sleeve and I'm going to go object and I'm gonna go arrange. Second option when you open object tab is arrange and you are going to do send backward or you're going to do send to back. Actually, you're going to do send to back, click, and then now you see why we did not require to curve it. I'm going to have to tweak this a little bit because the sleeve seems like it's coming lower than the armhole. I'm going to have to change the point a little. So the next step is we are going to add the stitch line on the neckline and a stitch line at the hem. So that's point number 4. So sleeve in position and top stitch neckline. Select the tool for selecting objects and group everything together. So once we get done with the neckline part and the hem, I will go ahead and reflect this piece. So I will show you how to do that. So to do those, we're going to have to use the pen tool again, and I'm going to click under my neckline on the center front. And then I'm going to click inside the shoulder right there. And then I'm going to use the select tool. And I'm going to use the pen tool again. And I'm going to select my hem and go straight across to my center front and click on that again. And then select tool again. So now what I'm going to do is when I'm going to select my line, I'm going to go into this. This is the stroke. And I'm going to click on dashed line and turn that on. And I'm going to turn the dashes 2 point, change that to 2 point, and then enter. And then I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom, dashed lines, 2 point, enter. Then I'm going to go back into this one and use right click on the pen tool, anchor tool, and I am going to pull it inwards at this point to curve it. And yes, the fill is on, so I'm gonna close it in a second, but I'm gonna finish what I'm doing first. There. And I'm gonna go to select tool, and I have my neckline with the top stitch, I have my hemline with the top stitch. I'm gonna click that and make the fill go away on that one too. Didn't affect anything, but just to be on the safe side. Now I'm gonna zoom out of this tool, of this. And go ahead and group everything together and then select, reflect it to make the complete look, and then make the neckline at the back. So to select everything, I'm going to click on each of the pieces while I hold down Shift so that everything gets selected. And then I'm going to go Object. I'm going to go the fourth from the top down group and click that. So now when I click inside the piece, everything gets selected. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this bodice, go Edit, and copy. Then I'm going to go Edit, paste in front. Okay. Now on this panel, I have this tool that's, when I hover over it, this is under the type tool. It says rotate tool. I'm going to right click on this one. And the third tool is reflect tool. And that's what I need. I have this thing that I need to go right in my center front and click and place that part there. That's where I am moving my piece. So if I don't have that on there, my piece will not move exactly at the same spot and reflect completely. So I'm going to hold down Shift now. After I place that, I'm going to hold down Shift, click on my piece and rotate it, and till it looks like it's a complete garment. Then you go back into the select tool and your piece is almost finished. We still have a neckline at the back to complete. So now it says step 5, back neck. Use the technique from the previous tank top exercise 2. Steps 8 and 9 show the completed basic top with sleeve. Okay, I'm gonna close this handout and open the next one for this. Because our neckline at this point is just what we need to do. This is another variation of the same top, and I'll talk about it in a minute. So I'm gonna go into the pen tool one more time. I'm going to change the color that I want to use for the back neck. And I'm going to start at the middle like we did last time, a little lower than the middle. And then I'm going to click here, straight across. I'm going to do straight. All right. Let me see. I'm going to zoom in for a bit. Okay. Pen tool again. Neckline right on the dot in the middle. Going in. And close. Now we're going to do the same thing we did with our other piece. We're going to go object, arrange, and we're going to send to back. So move it up a little bit, just because it was feeling like it was not attached to the thing. Now what I need to do is I need to move this point downwards and then curve the neckline. So to move this point, just this point downwards, I'm gonna hold down the Alt key, and you see this shape comes in. I'm going to click and doing something weird. Okay, so yeah, I was in the wrong tool. That's why it wasn't working. I need to be in pen tool when I do this. I need to hold down Control, not Alt. My bad again on that one. And then when I click on it, this part only moves, and I can move it where I want to. I want it to stay at the center front, of course. And once I'm done, I let go of that, and then I will go into right click into the pen tool again and anchor tool, and then I can curve it as I feel like, keeping it horizontal. And here we go. Our it went out of there, so I'm guessing that was because they curved it too much. Let's see, curve it again. Less this time. I think I know why this is happening, because I guess I moved it up a tad bit too much. There we go. So the neckline is done. Our piece is ready. I'm going to zoom out. And so this is your tank with the sleeves. And you can do it in all one color, do it in separate colors. It's up to you completely. So what I want you guys to do now is, you see this handout that I pulled up? When you go into Brightspace, there's a learning path, there is a module named Week 2 Top Flat. So week 2 tank top flat was what we did on Monday. That is your assignment, that you need to watch that recording and follow those steps and make that tank top in Adobe Illustrator, and then save it as a JPEG or a PDF file, either way, and drop it in that Dropbox. That is week 2 tank top. For now, week 2 top flat, for today's assignment, I need you guys to make a variation on the top. So either you do the one I just did right now, or you do this one that is a variation on this top. So both the pages are in Brightspace under top flat week 2, and you can pick and choose which one of the pages you want to do. Both have a sleeve, both one has the both have the hemline top stitching. One is a ribbed neck, so it would be a different neckline. Lower neckline, it's a V neckline, and then the one at the back would be higher, a lot higher than that. I would like to see how you guys handle the one that I have right now, the 3B top variation V-neck. So at least try to do this one. If it doesn't come out that good, don't delete it. Make it into a PDF, drop it in, and we'll talk about that. I will mark, if you do both, I will grade the one that's higher than the one that's lower. But try to do this one as well. If you do both and it doesn't work out that well, then we'll go over what frustrated you, what didn't work out that well, and you know, what you could do to make it better. So pick and choose and see which one you guys want to do. And we will go over them next class on Monday. See you guys.